Hey everybody, what's up y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. We are here to talk, and just like that, season 2, episode 3, chapter 3. If you are a returning viewer or a new viewer that is not yet subscribed to the channel, I hope that this is the video that changes your mind and you become a member of the Tamily. Alright, let's talk about this, y'all. I'm a little late, but we're still going to talk about this episode. So Carrie is out walking and she runs into her neighbor Lisette. Remember, she's the young girl that lives downstairs in the building that is like the jewelry maker. So she's talking about how she's having a jewelry, I guess like a showing for some buyers to try to get into some big department stores. So it's going to be in Bryant Park, which is a big deal. And Carrie just assures her that I'll be there, no worries. She, offers to go buy Carrie a cup of coffee. Carrie said, I can't. She's actually on her way to go and record the audio portion of her book. So we then get a scene of Seema coming out of her apartment, and before she even walks out, she's inside and she's on the phone with her driver, and she's telling her driver she's coming out a little bit early. So he's like, cool, I'm right around the corner. So as Seema comes outside, a guy runs by, snatches her purse. So she's yelling, she's screaming for everybody to help. Nobody's helping. Everybody is just kind of standing there watching this scene happen. So she is distraught, not because only her purse got snatched, but because it is her Birkin. So we see her calling Carrie, and she's hoping that they are a nice, respectable, old school thief that just wants her wallet and would just throw the purse somewhere to the side. This purse is sentimental to her because y'all know before Birkins became Birkins, there wasn't this like crazy wait list to get them. Still expensive, not as expensive as now, but you didn't have the whole wait list situation. So this was her first purse that she bought herself, and she is distraught. So we then see Charlotte. Charlotte doesn't have a storyline. Charlotte's storyline cannot always be whatever Lisa Todd Wexley, is that her full name? Whatever Lisa is doing. That doesn't make sense. They're going to have to give Charlotte something to do, some type of storyline that does not involve her children. But her and Lisa are at a PTA meeting. The students made a MILF list, okay? And because of this, they have to have this whole PTA situation. It's a boring storyline. It's designed to show that Charlotte still got it. She's still that girl, but it's pointless. It's pointless, y'all. So then we get Carrie. Carrie is recording her audiobook, and the producer is musty. I said, not them having a little musty syrup in there. So she's struggling to get this done. They tell her that she is popping her peas and swallowing her teas. And as somebody that has done podcasting before, as somebody that does YouTube, it's very easy to do, right? I am not trying to record an audiobook. So I know there are times I'm popping my peas, which is why I move the mic away. I'm swallowing my teas and words are trailing off. It happens in natural cadence depending on how somebody speaks. So she's struggling with that, and she's having a hard time reading this book. Now, Carrie doesn't even want to do it, right? Some of her previous books, they have had actresses or, voice people, like professionals, come in, and they have been the ones that have been recording her audiobooks for her. But by this book being about her finding love and losing her husband and all this type of stuff, they think it would be best if Carrie read the book, which I agree. I have listened to so many biographies. And there's something special about listening to a biography of a person and it being the actual person's voice. I don't want to listen to Michelle Obama's, autobiography and it's, I don't know, Christina Applegate reading it. You know what I mean? It has to be somebody, like it has to be the person. And because this is a very personal, basically life story for her, it makes more sense for Carrie to do it. Now, what Carrie needs to do is tell these people that it is very hard for her to to reread and relive the moment that she found Big in that shower. But instead of Carrie doing that, she, makes up all these excuses, does everything out of the ordinary, makes everything even more difficult than she has to make for herself. And it's just typical Carrie that is just. Ugh. So, Miranda, I'm sick of Miranda too, y'all. I'm sick of Miranda. I'm sick of Che. I'm sick of the whole LA storyline. I'm sick of all of it. So Miranda is out and she's helping Che run their lines, right? It's a mess. The script sounds stupid. The script sounds stupid. So it does seem like they went with the whole Tony Danza is her father and now she's half Italian and all this other type of stuff. So Miranda's reading the words wrong. She's, missing reading lines wrong. She's reading Che's lines. There's a scene where Che is supposed to cry on screen because she wants her father to understand that she is non-binary and there's nothing wrong with that. Che says she ain't doing that. She's not crying, and it's because she doesn't want to put out the stigma that there is something wrong with being non-binary. Miranda is wondering, why can't we print this out so we can see it? And Che said that, they just sent this over to me. Basically, the script is getting away from Che, right? So this show, this pilot that Che envisioned, what she wanted to do is not what's going to happen on screen. It's not. And I don't know if Che didn't really understand that be it like when you go into this situation and you're pitching a show, it's not going to be exactly what you want. I guess unless you are the lead writer and the screenwriter and the showrunner yourself. Che just pitched an idea to Hollywood and hoped that somebody would pick it up. So basically now it's their show about your life through their eyes with a little bit through your eyes. That's what Che is going through. And I don't think Che fully understood how this is going to work. So she's upset. We got some iPhone Android shade in there. I'm an iPhone person myself. This is an Apple household, but I enjoyed the little Android shade. I enjoyed it. So we next go over to Lisa. So Lisa's working on this documentary and she's interviewing Naya for it. And while Naya is talking, her mic like slips and we hear it like fumble as it goes. We hear the boop, 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 boop as it like goes down her shirt. And she's like, oh, my mic just fell. So the sound guy who was on a Tyler Perry show, I think it just goes to show once you leave the Tyler Perry web, we can see that you are somewhat of a decent actor. So he actually comes over and he's like fumbling down her shirt, trying to get everything. And Naya's like, ooh, you got to take me to dinner first because you're real handsy down all up and through, real handsy. And it's like a little cute, flirtatious, whatever. Lisa's not paying them any mind. And she's like, actually, I think we got enough. We're good. We went over, whatever the case. So Naya's talking to Lisa and it's like, yo, sound guy, it was a lot. And Lisa's like, I tell you this. He wasn't like that when I interviewed the circuit court judge the other day. Because as he was doing that, when Naya was like, you got to take me to dinner first, he was like, were you serious about that? Because he's ready to ask her out. He's like, I can take you to dinner. No problem, sis. Don't even worry about that. So Lisa tells her, look, even though that you might be, somewhat estranged from your husband, you like this man, he's fine. Go ahead and get his number because we got to get to lunch. So while they're at lunch, before Lisa and Naya get there, Carrie and Charlotte are talking. And Carrie's just talking about how she's doing with having to relive watching Big, pass away. And Carrie's being Carrie, avoiding talking about what the real issue is, doesn't want to be honest about her feelings. She's trying to change the subject any way she can, basically making Charlotte believe that Carrie is perfectly fine just a year later, reliving tragically finding her husband and basically having her husband pass away in her eyes. So Charlotte is like, yeah, I was just telling Miranda how great you're doing. Carrie knows she's not doing great about this, right? So luckily she's saved by the bell and Lisa and Naya come in. We get this talk again about the MILF list, which is, So we find out that Lisa's number 2 on the list and Charlotte is number 3 on the list. They have a little joke about it. Naya was like, yeah, we should be talking about politics and abortion and all this other kind of stuff, I guess kind of joking. And while she's doing that, she gets a text from the sound guy. So she did give him her number. She's going to go ahead, have a little Stella got her groove back moment, and all will be fine. We pan over to Carrie. So Carrie is back working on this book, chapter 3. First, she was reading too fast to tell her she can slow down a little bit. Now she's reading too slow. She gets to the line, she keeps fumbling over it, saying how she wants to chop out the sentence because now it seems too wordy. And she's like making these awkward jokes. Who wrote this anyways? And they looking like, girl, we are here to work. We're not here for the back and forth banter. We want to get this book recorded and edited and, let's get on with this. But she gets choked up and they ultimately tell her, why don't we just skip chapter 3? We can come back to it. We don't have to necessarily film these in order. Let's skip it. So Carrie decides that, sure, we can skip chapter 3. And what we find out is that, or we really acknowledge or know, is that Carrie has never really dealt with Big's death, to be real, right? We haven't seen her really mourn. Like they pointed out that at the funeral, she didn't even really cry. If I remember correctly, we did get a scene of her having like a little breakdown situation last season, but Carrie has never really dealt with it because she's so busy trying to just push forward and push past everything. So as she leaves, she's walking home and she sees Bitsy. Y'all know Bitsy is the whole vibe. But she sees Bitsy in the window and she goes in and Carrie tells her that she's not doing the greatest with this whole big situation. She ended up falling apart while, recording the audio portion of the book. And Bitsy tells her, look, yeah, you made it through the first year. What people don't tell you is it's the second year that's the hardest because you spend the first year really avoiding everything. Everybody's all, rallying around you. The first Christmas, the first this, the first holiday, your first anniversary. Everybody is around you. And then it's really the years after when you start to realize that he's not there for the funny time that you like slipped coming in the door and you can't believe you were that goofy, or the time that you finally perfected doing this or doing that. He's not there to share those moments. So it's the second year that is actually the hardest, and that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. So Bitsy tells her that it's because you're getting farther and farther away from him, from the life that y'all had, from the memories. That's what makes life going on, those moments, harder. So Carrie's like, you're always so put together. Bitsy was like, I'm faking it. I'm faking it majority of the time. She said, but I do whatever it is that makes me feel better. In my case, Bitsy went and got her whole little facelift. She said, for Carrie, that's not going to be it. But she tells Carrie, go out and do what makes you happy, what makes you feel better. Carrie's telling her that she doesn't really want to lean on her friends so much because she doesn't want to pile on them. And Bitsy just reminds her that, like, if your friends are your friends, the way that your friends say that they're your friends, and they friend in the way that they need to friend, they're going to be there for you. Which we all know that Miranda and Charlotte have no problem dropping what they're doing to come be with Carrie and be by her side while she is grieving her husband. So Carrie goes out, buys a shit ton of shoes, okay? And when she gets home, she's trying on her shoes. She sees her book, opens the book, tries to read through it, and was like, to hell with this. calls the studio guy and it's like, I have COVID, so someone else is going to have to record the book. I said, oh, Carrie, childish. So Miranda is out, and now Miranda wants to get a tattoo. Sick of Miranda. Sick of Miranda. Tired of her. So while she's out at the tattoo parlor, she's talking to this man who was very nice, and I guess she wants to get a fucking robot tattoo. Over it. Over it. I have no problem with tattoos. I have 5 myself. But this Miranda situation is dumb. She calls Carrie. Carrie basically is like, you need to bring your ass back home because you out there losing your mind. You're doing the most for no reason. Now you just doing shit to be doing it. So Miranda asks Carrie how she's doing, and Carrie tells her, oh, we had to get an actress to do the book. I have COVID. And she's like, oh my God, you have COVID now? Because now we've reached a point where, like, you don't hear, people are still getting it, but you don't hear about people too much having to, like, cancel plans and cancel stuff because of it anymore. So Carrie tells her she's fine. She has no symptoms whatsoever. So tells Miranda not to get a tattoo anywhere that can be seen. Because Miranda's like, everyone's getting tattoos. Carrie said, and everyone's getting them removed, which is true. A lot of people. I have a friend, my best friend, tons of tattoos. She has been getting some of hers removed just to replace them with others. But getting tattoo removal is huge right now. So Charlotte calls Carrie to ask her if she wants her to come on over and bring some stuff. She's getting ready to cook, okay? She's about to make some soup and all this other stuff. And she's already started to send things over to her house because Charlotte ain't got nothing but time because Charlotte has nothing to do. Brady finally calls Miranda. Miranda finally gets a hold of him while she is standing in line, y'all, getting ready to go in for the taping of Shay's show. Come to find out, Louisa done broke up with Brady, flew to Florence, got him just out there wandering the streets in whatever country he's from. And he was like, you hear a car, like, tire screech, horn blowing. And Brady is like, I wish the car would have hit me. So now Miranda feels that her son might unalive himself or be in that state of mind. So she's like, go back to the hostel. Call me when you get back to where you are. Have you talked to your dad? And Brady's like, I did, but I want you. You know, first big breakup, wants to talk to his mom. So Miranda is walking into the studio. Y'all know during the tapings of shows, you can't have your phone because we need absolute quiet on the set. Miranda tells the security guard, I don't have a phone. I lost my phone on the beach. Because of that, I am now, breaking the ties or whatever they call it. What do they call it? They call it something. Disconnected, unconnected, or something. So she's becoming one of those people. They let her in. We're going through the show. All right. We get the same scene that we saw Che rehearse with Miranda, and it's a good scene. The emotion is there. It's going good. It's a whole vibe on set. I'd be damned if we hear Miranda's phone ringing, which I knew was going to happen. So everything gets messed up. Everybody's looking around like, who got a phone? Who got a phone? It's Miranda. Che is big mad. The showrunner is like, we'll never get that moment back again. She's not an actor. She's just a comedian. Somebody else is like, it's they mess on set. Miranda is escorted out. Now we got to cut, and we got to bring out somebody to keep the crowd going, and we just have to hope that we can get that moment back. Seema goes to visit Carrie. Carrie has to admit that she lied about having COVID. She don't really have it, but she feels bad. Doesn't want Charlotte and Miranda to know that she's struggling right now. And that's when Seema was like, your friends are going to... Oh, I said this during Bitsy's part. But Seema was like, your friends are going to be your friends, and they are going to be there for you however you need them to be. You know that. Miranda is after talking to Brady, she done got kicked out. So Miranda comes back to the studio and she sees Che outside. And she's like, they wouldn't let me back in. And Che is like, girl, what? Of course they wouldn't let you back in. So she's telling her, Miranda, you just ruined the entire family scene. She really don't give a damn about anything else. You just ruined this scene. And it sucks that the way that the way that Che treats Miranda, she doesn't really care about her. Miranda is sex to Che. She's a warm body at the end of the night. You can't convince me otherwise. Because everything is all like I feel like Che's whole world is catered to her. She saw Miranda as a woman, as a person who was struggling within herself at that moment. Remember, Miranda was like an alcoholic for a while. I guess that's just we did see her at the meeting, but I guess like we ain't seen her have no urge or nothing. That's just, a thing of the past. And it's like she saw Miranda kind of in her lowest, and now she has decided to like completely engulf Miranda in her world, and it sucks. So she's basically like telling her about Brady, and she's like, you ruined the family scene. Girl, go reshoot it. Shit. Like, I get where Che is coming from, but it's also like this is her child. Miranda has one son. That is it. And Miranda say, well, I'm headed back to LA. And Che is like, you're leaving? He's like, he's a teenager. He had a breakup. He'll be fine. Miranda tells her, girl, you just don't understand. Che is selfish. Che is selfish. She is. I'm sick of her. She was way more likable as Callie on Grey's. So Che thinks that Miranda's overreacting. They don't want to leave on a bad note. Chase is very monotone. I hope Brady is okay. I said, ooh. Nasty attitude. Carrie is at Lisette's jewelry little situation that she has going on. They see a man start taking all the jewelry off, putting it into his pocket. So they looking like, what? He runs up on Carrie and he wants her necklace. And she's like, y'all know how she feel about that damn Carrie necklace. So he's like trying to rob her and Seema. Seema pulls out a gun, but it's really a lighter. The man takes off running. Everybody's yelling, he's robbing me, he's robbing me. Nothing happened. Everybody leaves and Lisette's show gets ruined, right? She's screaming for security. Security wasn't there. Carrie screaming out she got COVID. A mess of a situation. Brady comes home, falls into his mom's arms, and is all but weeping. He feels better now that he's in his mommy's arms. Seema is walking home after after getting out of her driver early because it was so much traffic. She bends down to pet a dog. She looks to the side and conveniently her Birkin is just there, untouched, not even dirty. No one else in New York has saw this bag and picked it up. So she gets her Birkin back and she's great. And then the final scene is Carrie goes to visit Lisette, takes her the chocolates that Charlotte sent her, and gives her like this unspoken pep talk about we're going to wallow in ourselves today, and then at some point we're going to have to get up and move forward. And then we see Carrie goes and she finishes recording the book and chapter 3. And that was it. Like, this wasn't, it was a good episode, but it wasn't like anything like crazy over the top, right? So let me know what you guys thought about this episode. If you have not already, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, hop in the comment section, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.